Yo, what's going on, y'all? What's going on? Welcome back to another video. Welcome back to the channel. And goddamn, let's get straight into it. So, the NFL draft was last night, right? And as y'all know, as y'all know, I've been watching the foosball. I haven't watched the foosball in quite a while. We've discussed this several times, but this is what I want to discuss, right? I want to discuss. And this is not a football thing. It's just the NFL draft was last night, so it's just a good segue. Um, but it's something that most NBA teams that win, NBA teams that win, and NFL teams that win have figured out. Proven players is more valuable than whatever draft picks you're gonna send. Proven players, unless it's this year, the NBA Wembanyama, the whole NBA won Wembanyama. It's it is what it is. It's looking like Porzingis to me, but the whole NBA want Wembanyama. He's the next prospect. He's the next guy up. He's the next Durant, whatever he's supposed to be. So draft picks for this particular draft, I get it. When it comes to the NFL, it seems as though Bryce Young and CJ Stroud were the two kind of top guys. And you had other quarterbacks in the mix. I saw Anthony Richardson go out quick. And again, I don't watch college, so I'm not here to talk about these guys' ability, how good they are, how good they can be, how good they will be. None of that. I'm talking about what's proven right now. What's proven right now. And what's proven right now is that you had an MVP quarterback. That is, hold up. That is 26 years old. You have an MVP quarterback that is 26 years old. 26 years old. Color change because I put the page 26 years old. You have an MVP quarterback that's 26 years old that was available for trades. The Jets traded like 3 years worth of picks for 40-year-old quarterback. They traded 3-4 years worth of picks for a 40-year-old quarterback. There are several teams, Carolina, that traded draft picks to move up for a rookie quarterback that is obviously unproven because he's a rookie. He ain't even playing NFL yet, but he's unproven. So you trade several draft picks, several years worth of draft picks for the opportunity to get an unproven quarterback before you get an MVP, not MVP caliber, an MVP 26-year-old quarterback. Now, we don't know what the Ravens wanted. We don't know if he was actually, well, we do know he was available. He was available. Several owners, because owners never speak. Owners never speak on drafting players. We want this play. Owners never speak on that type of shit. But we saw several owners, including Arthur Blanks, who don't have a quarterback, who hasn't had a competent quarterback in a while. Matt Ryan was not competent. Matt Ryan was the comeback king because they were always down 20, always down 30. The second team comes in. Matt Ryan is still in the game, and he's still throwing the ball. They come back within 10. They're down 30. They come back within 10. And all of a sudden, Matt Ryan's a comeback king. That's how it works out. You can look at the games. This is how it works out. The Colts try to get Matt Ryan. We see how that works out. We see how it works out with elite quarterbacks. There's 5 or 6 elite quarterbacks. And again, I'm not saying that any of these quarterbacks coming in will not be just as good as Lamar. But you already got them. So this will slightly transition to for instance, basketball, the Clippers, right? So the Clippers drafted SGA, and I thought personally that SGA was fantastic then. I didn't know he was going to be this good right now. I thought he was fantastic then. He was a fantastic defender. And I thought that Kawhi and the organization and also Paul George made the mistake of forcing it the first year. Obviously, it's been like 5 years now, 4 years. So they didn't have to force it the first year. I think they forced it the first year. I think Paul George. I think Paul George signed another 2 years with OKC. Obviously, he wanted to get right out of it. He just re-signed. Remember, they had a whole concert for Paul George for going there. He just re-signed. So obviously, he didn't want to be there. Obviously, he wanted to be back at Los Angeles. That's what it is. It's cool. But the Clippers made a decision that Kawhi Leonard and Paul George were more valuable right now. This is the correct decision. Still a correct decision. Even though they've been injured, even though torn meniscus injuries after injuries every year, injuries throughout the regular season. These dudes didn't play in the regular season and they didn't play in the playoffs. But it's still the correct decision because you have two proven offensive and defensive players. You want to win now, allegedly, versus a first-year guy who's just getting into his groove, right? I understand all this. I get this. And this is what I would say. This is what I prefer because at least they went for it. The Lakers went for it too. The Pelicans went for it too. As you can see, it's not working out for the Pelicans. The draft picks they got in Zion, it ain't working out for them. Just like the draft pick Anthony Davis they got in, it didn't work out for them either. He was always hurt. Or he didn't want to play. Zion always hurt. Didn't want to play. So a lot of things can go on. But I just feel like you have a proven 26-year-old MVP quarterback that's available for trade. And I know we don't want to pay him, but there's only 5 good quarterbacks. I'm not including Deshaun Watson because he wasn't good when he came back last year. They paid him a whole lot of money like he was, but he wasn't good when he came back last year. There's 4 or 5 really good quarterbacks, and everybody else is average to below average. We all know the quarterback is the most important position. You can look at teams like the Ravens, right? So I had a lot of, not a lot, some of the Ravens fan base, because I think a lot of Ravens fan base actually likes Lamar and they want to keep Lamar around. But there's some people in that fan base and others that think that they can plug and play any quarterback just like they did with Trent Dilfer, just like they did with Joe Flacco. The difference is those were all-time defenses. All-time defenses. You don't have an all-time defense. We saw the Miami took that, but Petunia from last year with the comeback victory. You don't have an all-time defense. You don't have Ray Lewis, Tony Aries. These are all-time guys. Ray Lewis is an all-timer. Aries is an all-timer. You don't have those guys. Roquan, all these guys are fantastic. They're fantastic players. They're not all-time guys. So the quarterback position is totally different. I just think it's a major mistake to not go after a proven player. He's gonna get paid 200, whatever the Ravens actually ended up giving him, 260 million. You're gonna have to pay somebody that anyway. The contracts get bigger year by year anyway. The numbers get bigger and bigger anyway. Jared Goff was a #1 paid quarterback. After he just got to the Super Bowl with the Rams with a souped up team, he was going after 1 year. Because he wasn't a proven quarterback to begin with. He was just a quarterback they wanted to plug and play with. So they paid him the highest pay. Jimmy G came over from the Patriots. Jimmy G was a second string. And the 49ers made him the highest paid quarterback. Proving nothing. Tom Brady will have a bad game, 3 quarters, or a bad half. Maybe the game was out of the reach. This rarely happened, of course. Jimmy G comes in, throws a touchdown or 2. They still lose the game. And people think, oh, well, Jimmy G should have been in the beginning. Maybe they wouldn't have. Jimmy G, now we see he's trash. So, again, the Patriots last year, Mac Jones, not last year, before last, whenever they got Mac Jones, they got a cornerback this year. Lamar's available. You have the coach. Maybe you don't have the coordinators. Bill O'Brien is not who I would trust for a guy like Lamar, but you have the coach. Well, actually, Bill O'Brien was in Bryce Young. So actually, you got the best guy. Or maybe you just bought Bill O'Brien in for Mac Jones. That could be a thing too. But you got the best guy for a quarterback like Lamar Jackson because he was just with Bryce Young. Even though Alabama didn't, not like they just won a championship. Not like they just came off championship season. They came off a fantastic season. I just don't get it. What do y'all think? I know there's draft picks, there's proven players, but I believe when it comes to the quarterback position, it is proven to be. It's proven to be. And also, it's almost like pitches. I've just been getting to baseball last year too. I'm gonna start talking a little baseball, but I just start getting to baseball last year too. The pitches, the best pitches, DeGrom is usually hurt, but DeGrom, the Garrett Coles, the Sandy what's this guy Alcantara, he's had a bad season so far, but previously he's a proven pitcher. Who are the guys? I really want to. Why are my eyes at you? I really want to name out a couple of guys that are just um proven guys. Jesus Christ, what kind of thinking of pitches? Y'all know what I mean. There's proven pitches. The proven pitches, the Garrett Coles, I'm gonna rename again. Jesus Christ. Okay, the Garrett Coles, the frame of Valdez's. There's only so many of these guys. There's good pitchers that can have great games, but these guys are great pitchers. These guys they don't get blown up like that. Kershaw, they don't get blown up like that. It's a bad game one time in every 12. But there's a difference between the elite guys, the good guys, the average pitchers, and the go ahead on out there pitchers. When we've already, and there's more elite guys in pitching than there is quarterbacking. So your pool, you got even less of a pool. So I don't understand it. Maybe y'all understand it. Why don't you just get a proven quarterback? Why don't you just get a proven player, especially quarterback? If it's running back, if it's wide receiver, they come out the draft all the time. Quarterback position has not been figured out no matter what the draft pick. The best quarterback in NFL history was the last pick. The 49ers best quarterback last year, easily, and he was one of the best quarterbacks in the season. He was their last pick. Lamar Jackson got picked in the second round, or the last pick of the first round. So obviously, the blueprint to drafting a quarterback, it ain't done. We just seen the Ryan Leafs. We just seen all these guys. If you got a guy that's in the NFL that is proven already, why wouldn't you do everything to secure this guy and worry about the rest later? It's for the Falcons. Bring in Lamar. You got Ridley. You got another wide receiver. You got the tight end you drafted last year. You get a running back. Get a running back. Running back's a dime a dozen. Look at the Chiefs. They're just picking up guys. You get a second round. He can catch. He fast. That's all you got to do. Y'all talk to me. Let me know. Holler at your boy. Subscribe to the channel. These people are crazy.